Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Theodore Campbell once again. Got another video for you guys. As you see, Bianca's not here. I think I said it before in the past. We kind of have like an agreement where it's like, if something is on your heart and you have something to say, just go ahead and do it. We trust each other that much. And let me turn my phone down. But yeah, we trust each other enough. Once in a while, Bianca comes on here by herself. Sometimes I do. And we just go by what we feel on our heart. And and Bianca will tell you, sometimes I'll have an idea about something I want to talk about. And if I let it go too long, I'll pretty much forget what I wanted to say. So that's why when certain things come up, I jump right up and do it. So as you see in the title of the video is Hurting People Hurt Other People. Now, the thing about that title is, I think that's a cliche thing because we used and abused that title or that quote so many times that I think most of us, and I'm gonna say us, meaning me as well, we let these things fly over our head, even though they're 100% factual, true statements. It bugs me out because us as people, it's like we're in a society now where we post all these quotes, all these memes, and all these different stuff. And it's like, what's the motive behind it? Are you doing it because it's really impactful? Are you doing it because you're really trying to enlighten somebody? Or are you just looking for likes, clicks, and views? And at the end of the day, I feel like most of the time it's just for likes, clicks, and views because we passing this information on, but are we really growing from it? So that's a whole nother subject. But the actual quote I'm talking about right now, again, is hurting people hurt other people. Now, from my experience, I notice it's like there's always that one person that always have to throw dirt on somebody else. It doesn't matter. Like, don't get me wrong. We all talk about each other. It's not right. We talk junk. But there's certain individuals where they're constantly talking about somebody. If you have a friend in your circle and you hanging out with them and they're constantly talking about somebody, I think you should be careful because that same person is probably talking about you when you're not around because that's just what they do. And from my experience, what I've learned, most people who do that, they're really people who really don't have love for themselves. They have a void inside, or they're pretty much looking to tear other people down to lift themselves up, which is horrible. I don't understand that whole philosophy, but a lot of people do it. And I think a lot of us are guilty of doing it. But the thing is, of being in a place where you're constantly doing where this is what you do all the time. And what really gets me about people that's in a situation like that or who live their lives like that, I think a lot of you might remember a term from back in the day where the old folks used to say, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. It's something like that. I'm not even sure if it's exactly that terminology, but you get what I'm saying. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. So these people, they're always the ones that want to highlight what's wrong with somebody else. They want to remind you what's wrong with you. They want to remind you of your mistakes. They want to remind you of how you don't have it all together. But if you was to really turn the camera or face them, their lives are usually jacked up. A lot of times worse than yours. But yet they're so quick to point the finger at other people and always want to highlight what's wrong with everybody else. And again, to me, that's a defense mechanism. Pretty much, you're trying to deflect the attention on you because you know you don't got it together. So in your mind, you're constantly trying to deflect the energy or the attention on other people's flaws so that nobody will see your own. And I just don't understand that, but you see it all the time. You see it all the time. And those same people, they're usually the type of person that they can dish it, but they can't take it. They'll talk about you all day. They'll talk about you to other people, even to you if you have a conversation with them. They're so quick to do that. But if you just mention one little thing about them, they fly off the rails. They go crazy. They go berserk. They lose their cool. They get an attitude. They can dish it, but they can't take it. So it goes back to the hurting people hurt people. These people are people who are hurting inside. I'm not going to say they don't love themselves. They probably do, but there's something missing inside. There's a void. And they're pretty much avoiding confrontation with themselves. So instead of facing themselves, like looking in the mirror, I like to call it the spiritual mirror, because you can look into a physical mirror and see your physical face and features and stuff. But when you pull out that spiritual mirror, you're able to see the real person, not the person you see flesh and blood. No, the person inside, who you really are. And that's the part that God see. God don't see all this stuff, even though he made it. He see what's inside of you. So even though you may look cute, you might have the fresh cut, you might have the fly hairstyle, nails, whatever, makeup. All that is a cover up, because at the end of the day, God don't see that part. He see the inside of you, who you really are inside, the real you. So that's what it takes when you do self-reflection, so that you can fix these flaws. And the thing is, we all got to do it. But you have to get to a point where you take the time to be honest with yourself and say, yeah, I'm dealing with this. There's things that I need to do better over here. Let me work on it. But if you just live a life where it's just constant, I'm always right, or I'm never wrong, it's always you, not me, you'll never grow. You'll always stay where you at. And it's amazing how I see people who's a lot older than me, and they still act like they little kids. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you still think like that? Like, you're no flaw, nothing wrong. You always want to tell on somebody, oh, you did that and you did this. But what did you do? Like, even when I talk to, I go on dates and stuff like that because I'm single. And I remember once I was on a date one time. I'm telling you my business. I went on a date and this girl, she was just like, yeah, I was with the dude and he did this. He did that. He did this. He said this. He this. He that. He did. He. So I was like, okay, cool. He did all that. Man, he's just a horrible person. I'm being sarcastic. Oh, man, he's just a horrible person, man. I feel sorry you had to go through that. But let me ask you a question. What did you do? Crickets. 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 It was like no fault. They didn't do nothing wrong, which is totally unbelievable. Even in all my relationships with friends or job situations, there's always something that goes on, even if somebody did me wrong, or at the job or with friends and stuff. There's always some way to self-reflect. There's always some way to say, I could have did that better. Yeah, they did me dirty, but I could have reacted different to it. So that's where you have to have that spiritual mirror to look inside of yourself, not to look at the outside, the inside, the real you, to figure out what's going on with you so that you can be able to fix these things. And to sum it up, that's what I mean by hurting people hurt other people. These are people who have never taken the time to self-reflect anything on the inside. They're so busy tearing other people down, and they'll never look at themselves. They'll never self-reflect or never take responsibility for the things that they do. And they'll never grow. So I guess I would probably do another video. Maybe Bianca can come. Maybe we can talk about how do you deal with these people, because we deal with these people every day. It might be at the job. It might be somebody you dated, an ex, whatever. But these people constantly live a life of trying to tear other people down. And like I said, usually they don't have no right. They have no authority. And like I said, if you was to put a magnifying glass to their life, it's usually a mess. It's usually a mess. Like I said, they tear you down to lift them up, because that's how low they are. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Like I said, me and Bianca, we come on here, we have conversations to make you think. I'm not coming on here to say that I know everything. You might even heard some things that I said was wrong. Hey, get in the comments, let me know. We just want to have a conversation because a lot of this stuff don't get talked about, and that's the things that we have a problem with religion and stuff. You know, they say they counseling people and making people better people, but they don't never address this stuff. They don't. Everything is super spiritual and super holy, but you don't talk about how I can just live my life just on a regular, everyday basis. You know, it just makes no sense. So again, this is Theodore Campbell, one half of Unadulterated You. I hope that you like, share, comment, and let us know what you think. I'll catch you next time.